Witcher 4 is probably one of the most anticipated games for me. I know whatever they shown off in that tech demo, it was just a tech demo. It was a slice of the game. It's not actually the actual game. So the actual game would be a lot more different, I know. But it got me so hyped for the game. It looks fantastic. I'm longing for more content from Witcher. Like I want them to show us more. Right now, there's an Insider Gaming article that they just put out that's saying CD Projekt Red confirms Witcher 4 not releasing in 2026, which kind of knew that. There's no way they could be releasing this in 2026. They have a long way to go. That's a big project. New Trilogy sticking to 6-year plan. That's the exciting part. I assume this would probably like late 2027, if not 2028, actually, because CDPR notoriously take a long time to release games. Cyberpunk 2077 was in development for over a decade, and it still when it got released was really crap, and it took them another almost 2 years to actually get it to a place where it could be redeemed. Maybe they have learned a lot, and now the whole workflow is easier because they're using Unreal Engine 5 instead of their own proprietary engine. And they also seems to be getting official support from Unreal as well. So I think the development will be much quicker. Development cycle will be much quicker, which makes sense because they're also hoping to have the new trilogy, which is going to be Witcher 4, 5, and 6, focusing on Ciri, to be releasing within a 6-year window. What that means is we're probably going to see a new Witcher game coming out every 2 years, which is awesome, actually. Which is awesome because I thought, okay, given how Witcher 4 is going to probably release at the end of like 2027, if you're lucky, or 2028, it's like about a 5 to 6 year development cycle. So we're probably going to see Witcher 5 in another 5 to 6 years, another 5 to 6 years for Witcher 6. That's what I thought this whole time, because given how, their development has happened in the past, that makes sense. Even between Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk, it's been a while. It's been a decade since Witcher 3 launched, so it takes a while for them to develop games, but apparently not with this new trilogy. It does concern me, which I will get to in a minute. This was revealed in a Q3 earnings call for CD Projekt Red. During the company's Q3 earnings call speak, Michael Nowakowski was asked, can you share more details about where you are in the Witcher 4 development process? What are the key technical design risks that could shift the release window? This is what he said. We're not disclosing any details regarding the target release date, so there's not a point in time I could refer to when answering such a question. The only thing we are commenting is that we are not launching in 2026, and we are also not typically getting into any specifics regarding technical or design matters. There's nothing out of the ordinary, I'd say, in the area happening with The Witcher 4. It's just full-scale production proceeding at its pace. As per our internal plans, I think that's as much as we can say. Of course, I mean, they literally cannot take another hit like Cyberpunk again, because people gave them a pass with Cyberpunk. Actually, a lot of people didn't, but they worked their ass off. They managed to redeem that game, redeem themselves with that game by actually making it a really great game, and even better DLC content with the Liberty DLC. I don't think people will be okay with them stuffing up again. In a way, yes, I do believe that further games should be delivered in a shorter period of time. As we had stated before, our plan still is to launch the whole trilogy within a 6-year period. So yes, that would mean we would plan to have a shorter development time between Witcher 4 and Witcher 5, between Witcher 5 and Witcher 6, and so on. They're probably working on all 3 games at the same time right now. They're sort of like staggering it on top of each other. So they're all starting at the same time, but then because Witcher 4 is coming first, they got a lot more resource allocated for Witcher 4. As soon as Witcher 4 is released, they're going to allocate more resources towards the Witcher 5 and have like a smaller team continue to work on Witcher 4 with like bugs and updates and DLC content, and then Witcher 5 will be the focus for the next 2 years after launch of Witcher 4. And then as soon as that launches, that also get allocated with a smaller team to work on the updates and DLC, and while Witcher 6 gets the most amount of resources allocated. So I think they're gonna probably do a staggered approach to keep the development cycles shorter. Kind of makes sense. The fact that they have very short development cycle also does concern me in terms of how great these games are going to be in terms of performance. Are they going to have a lot of technical issues? Because I mean, time is time. 2 years is a very short time to work on a single game. How much time do you really have to actually test these and make sure that it's bug free and glitches are minimal? The other thing is, how much time do you really have to flesh out the game to the same level, if not more, to the level of Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt? Because Wild Hunt was great. It was so great because of the level of attention to detail in that game. There were so many things going on in the world at any given moment, and the world itself is pretty detailed for the time. If you go look at it now, it hasn't aged that well, sure, but it still holds up. But even with the quest lines, the side quests and everything, there was a lot of thought behind it. There's a lot of love behind it. Then you could tell every little interaction played out with meaning, and that was because they worked a ton on that game, and you can tell. Is that going to be the same when you have a very short development cycle for the game? Would you realistically have enough time to actually work on it and achieve the level of detail that you want to achieve and you have achieved in the past with Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk as well? Is that going to be the case? That's a concern for me. I don't know if are we going to see a significant drop in quality because of these shorter development cycles? That's to be seen. I really hope that's not the case, because that would be quite stupid for CDPR to go back in the quality, because this is what they have excelled at and this is what they're known for. So if they go back and make the world beautiful, but then the content is lacking and content is not great or not quality or premium quality like what they're known for, they're gonna go down to the same level of like Ubisoft. Ubisoft was once one of the greatest studios on this planet. They were releasing great games and everyone loved Assassin's Creed, Far Cry. They were awesome. But then they also had this issue with trying to release so many games close together, shorter development cycles and all that, and then the quality went significantly down. And now they're struggling to make a comeback because they tried to overly commercialize their games, and now it's like it just a lot of bloat in there, and nothing, most of the stuff that you do other than your main story campaign, it's just busy work. That's what it's come down to, and you don't want that in a Witcher game. You want it to be better than Witcher 3. That's the expectation, because Witcher 3 set such a high standard, and then Cyberpunk, not at launch but eventually, also put such a high standard on CDPR. They have to either at least match it, if not beat it. So The Witcher 4 in 2026 would be great, but the year is going to be stacked with games. 2026, we're getting GTA. We don't need more games in 2026. So I'm okay with this not coming out next year. As for the remaining trilogy, and as long as they're well made and they retained that premium quality that CDP is known for, 3 full-scale Witcher games in 6 years would be amazing. But I don't know if it's realistic to achieve that within 6 years, despite their plan to do it. I think they're going to have a lot of delays and they're going to try to stick to it, but in order to ensure the quality, they're going to have to take more time with it. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments if this is an unrealistic goal for CDPR to have, if you think whether they can pull it off with the efficient processing in Unreal Engine 5 and also because of the support they receive from Epic Games, if this is achievable for them. Let me know.